Alright, so we have a problem with the truck. It won't pass smog. So I hooked up an OBD scanner to it and I got the codes off of it. And I think I know how to fix it. So it's the reason why it's not passing smog is because the check engine light is on. So it's pretty much just an automatic fail, you know. They didn't even run it because there's no point in running it if it's got the check engine light on. And there's about 3 codes, I believe. One of the codes is for a random misfire. That's the code that's been on the truck the longest. I mean, it's been on there at least 3 or 4 years now, the random misfire code. And then a new one popped up recently, misfire in cylinder 3. I'm not too worried about that one. And then another code, another new one came up recently. It's an OBD, or some sort of OBD, sorry, not OBD, O2 sensor code. It says O2 catalyst or something like that. And I believe that has to do with, you know, the issue that's with the OBD, or the O2 sensor and the CAT converter and all that. Because this truck's been running with that random misfire for so long, I believe we need to change the CAT out because I believe it's wasted. So anyways, I bought a bunch of parts, and what we're going to do is we're going to get started on it today. Also, another way I think I know the CAT is fried is because when you turn it on, it smells very bad. It kind of has this like rotten egg smell. Not like an old school car where like you smell a bunch of gas. It's more like this really nasty, like some really nasty smell. I can't really describe it, but it's as soon as you turn the truck on, and it just stays like that. It'll like flood my whole front yard with just nasty fumes. And yeah, so that's another reason why I think we should put a new CAT on this truck after I get all these parts replaced. Here's everything we're going to be installing. I got a whole set of brand new O2 sensors, 2 of the upstreams and 2 of the downstream sensors, and that should be all of them. And then a brand new fuel injector setup. This is the updated version of it, where it's got like individual type of little injector things at the tips of each of these. The stock one, I believe, is just a tube from here to here and a little clip, and it's all done with just this thing here. But supposedly this is supposed to be better, and I'm hoping this will solve the multiple misfire issue that we're having. And then also I have a whole set of new spark plug wires. Also got a whole set of spark plugs for the truck, 6 of them. So with the 6 plugs and all the brand new spark plug wires, I'm hoping that'll take care of the misfire in cylinder 3. I know some of you are going to be like, oh, well, you're just guessing, you know, you should figure out where the problem is and then go from there. But this is my way of figuring out the damn problem. The spark plugs and the wires weren't that much, so whatever. And I'm sure that'll fix that issue. And these are the old stock of the 41, 932, whatever AC Delco spark plugs. These are the ones that the owner's manual says that are supposed to be in this engine. I couldn't find these anywhere. I ended up finding these on eBay, so I think these are like some sort of old stock or something. And after all this stuff's on, we'll take it to this muffler shop, and I think I'll just have a guy weld on a new CAT, and then we'll go smog this baby. So I'm going to start off by just disconnecting all this airbox stuff. Just untake this screw. You got a little sensor here, sensor wire. Another little tube that was connected to the airbox. And it should just lift out. Alright. The whole thing lifted out at once.
And then you check the oil like this.
Yeah. We could do that last. Actually, okay, we'll check it right now since she says to check the oil. And it is dirty and black. So it's looking like we're going to have to take a lot of stuff off here because the fuel injector thing's under this plastic intake manifold thing. So it looks like we're going to have to disconnect this whole throttle assembly. Possibly this coil. I'm not sure if that's connected to it. Just going to have to do one part at a time and just go from there, you know. So before I start taking some of this stuff off, I'm just going to snap a quick picture with my phone, just in case I get a little confused at the end and forget where things go for whatever reason. A couple. Alright. So it looks like a lot of these bolts in here are a 10 millimeter. A lot of these small bolts that I need to take off just for some of the stuff that's bolted to the intake manifold. So we'll start taking some of these bolts off. Looks like this is just a wiring harness that's attached to the manifold. That's the wiring harness for the alternator and some of the other accessories. So that's off. Okay, get this one. This is the coil that's attached to something. The coil doesn't seem to be attached to the intake. This is though, whatever this little sensor is. Bikey? You want to ride the bike? Nothing here. Okay, now that's loose. That's just this big old wiring harness that's attached to it. Looks like we're going to have to disconnect this plug, whatever this big old thing is. Let's see. Oh. Get it off. Okay, that's that. Not sure if I needed to take that off, but we'll see later. What else? Okay, right here where the throttle bracket is attached to the throttle body, I think we'll just take this one off. So I gotta go get a 10 millimeter little wrench. Couldn't find my ratcheting 10 millimeter wrench, but this will do. Oh, that was tight. Okay, so well, it's loose enough for me to just pull it out now. Alright, that's that one. Now, let's see. I am going to have to disconnect the actual cables that go onto the throttle body, because those are going to be in the way when I go to take this out. I think it just pops right off. Need to get a flathead for that. So it's looking like the cable on the left side just kind of would pop out if I just pushed at it with this, and then this other side is just like a regular like a bike cable. But I'll just try to pop this one off. Hopefully I don't break it. Okay, so that popped off. And did it break? Nope, it didn't break. Okay, good. So that one's good. Now we just got to pull this other one off. How does it come off? I think if I I need two hands, 1 second. So I'm holding the throttle body open, and it looks like it lets me grab the cable. There we go, cable's out. Now I'm gonna slowly close it. Ugh. Damn, that thing was digging right into my freaking finger. Okay, so the two cables are off. Now, looks like we're totally separated from the throttle body now. So, for when we go to lift off this manifold, I think I'm going to just leave the throttle body on it. So the next thing I want to get out of the way is this damn line that runs right over the manifold. It's like a plastic smog line that goes to the smog canister, and then it goes to some sort of purge valve over here. It comes down and connects right into this valve, this one right here, which is connected to the manifold. So I can't figure out how to get this line off of the valve, so I'm just gonna unscrew the valve. It's got two 10mm bolts on each side, and then I'll just bring the whole thing up and over and out of the way. Now that I unscrewed this, it's kind of loose and I can just move it out of the way if I need to. I probably should replace this thing, but I don't think it's having any problems yet. So I just unclipped this big harness here. There's a clip on each side, right there, right there. I'm just gonna kind of just get it out of the way. Just fold it back, and then now it's just one more thing out of the way. I believe the injector's right under here, so I'm thinking I gotta disconnect this too. This must be the fuel lines. Pretty sure I gotta get that off too. And then also this hose here. I'll just keep working at it and I'll update you guys. So I ended up finding a 5/16 socket that fits on the top of this fuel line looking crap here. Okay, that's loose. I'd rather get it the rest of the way off with my fingers so I don't drop it. The bolt. Okay, now this side. There's pretty tight for a little nut. Okay. Okay, I got the nut in there. Now we'll see what the deal is with this. Okay, some top plate that has to come off. Didn't seem like it did anything though. These are still pretty tight on there. I'm trying to wiggle them. Okay, I don't know what that's about. Why they're not coming out, I don't know. We'll see. Let me dig more into this. So I kind of climbed up on top of the motor, and that gave me more leverage to pull on these. And I was able to loosen them, and I definitely smell gas. So those are the fuel lines. I think the manifold is ready to be unbolted now, and I'm going to see if I can just lift it straight up. So it seems that all the bolts on the intake manifold are a 10mm socket. That one wasn't very tight. The fuel injector on this truck has never been changed before. So the truck has 220 something thousand miles. Where's the next one? Got one right over here. I don't like this ratchet. It always freaking, when I set it to loosening, this thing always moves right when I start loosening the bolt, and then it gets right in the middle and then it doesn't do anything. it won't ratchet anymore. And then I gotta move it again. Alright. I believe that one's loose enough for me to just pull that out. Okay, there's that one. Next up is okay, so there's two more over here. Get that. Should have brought my little impact. That way I can just zip these out real fast. That one. Whoa, that one was already loose. What the hell? But that was just this is some sort of bracket or something. Alright, another little bolt. Okay. Alright, so there's two more in the back of the manifold. That, this. Okay. I definitely don't want to drop these ones. I'm going to put my finger on the bolt as I pull it out, just like that. Alright, this one's coming out really rough. Must be a stripped bolt or something. That's not good. Oh no. Something's going on with these threads. I don't know. Can't see anything. Okay, I think that is all of them. Now, I don't know how good the seal is on this thing. I don't know if I gotta break it loose or what. Ugh. I'm not sure if these intake, or if this, these throttle body bolts go down through the intake manifold and into the block. I don't know, but I was gonna leave this on. But this thing is seeming like it's still very tight for some reason. So there must be some more bolts that I'm not seeing here. Ugh. Okay, there was two more bolts that I was missing on the right side. So in total, there's 6 of these intake manifold bolts. 2 of them were hidden underneath these other little ones for this bracket for on this side, so that's why I missed them. Also, I had to unbolt this throttle bracket because it was kind of catching on the throttle body. So, but I can tell it's a little bit loose now, but I still can't get it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take this intake throttle body off. There's a bolt here and one here, and I'm gonna see if what that does. So let's try that. Alright, yeah, that'll be our problem, because look at that. I pulled this bolt out, and look how freaking long it is. That means it's going straight through this, through the intake manifold, and into the block, or whatever. So, that's what was catching us. So, let me get the other one out, and then we'll should be able to just lift this thing right out. Alright, so those last 2 throttle body bolts definitely were what was holding us up, because as you see, I got it loose now. Now, it's just a matter of holding these damn fuel lines. They're so rigid that it's hard to get them out of the way. In this wire harness, I gotta try to hold those 2 so I can bring this damn thing out. So let me try that. Alright, I'm up here holding the crap out of the way. If I can, okay. Oh, fuck. Come on, fucker. Man, these newer trucks are just so much crap away. Man, it's gonna be a pain in the butt getting this thing back in there. Uh-oh, there she is. Oh, God. There it is. Alright, as you've seen, I just pulled that sucker out of there. And there's the spider right there. That's why they call it a spider injector, because it looks like a fucking spider. Okay, so now we just got to get that injector out, put the new one in. Maybe I'll clean some stuff up in here too. Okay, so the spider injector is wedged in between a bracket, a metal bracket. There's one side and there's the other side. I kind of got it loose from it. I just took a flathead and put it in between the two on this side and kind of just wedged it out, and did the same for that side, and it kind of pops up. But the last thing holding it in now is the actual legs. So if I disconnect that one and that one, I believe this thing will just pop right out. So I'm going to disconnect the injector arms out of there and see if we can pull it the rest of the way out. Alright, where can I set you down? Right there. Alright, there's one leg out. Now we'll get the other one. Alright, got that one out. So like I said, I think it should just lift right out now. Yep. Okay, so now I'll just disconnect the other two. That one's being a... Okay. Alrighty. Alright, that's all of them. Yeah, looks like a Black Widow. Damn, so check out the difference of these two injectors. Look at that thing compared to that. You got this little spider, and then you got the freaking Predator over here. That's cool, it has a new O-ring around it. So I don't gotta use this old busted one. So supposedly this is just a better design all the way around, so let's just figure out how to get it in, see if we can make it work with the brackets that's already on the truck. Okay, so I'm in the process of trying to get the thing in. I got the lines connected into the ports except for this one right now. But I just want to say this thing is very, very hard to do. I mean, if you look at the old one, look at these lines. They're so flexible, you know, they're easy to move around. These, on the other hand, are so damn stiff that it's like this thing just wants to stay hella high up, not push down. Can't even get the damn things in properly. And then now I already ran into this problem where the little cap to this one is in the injector hole. It got stuck in there, and now I can't get this thing back into the cap. And I don't know how I'm going to get that cap out of there. It's just, this thing is a pain in the ass. I'm already kind of regretting even getting this newer style one. I got it because it's supposed to be better, and it costs more than that type of injector. But it's just a bitch to get in. I mean, you damn near have to break the damn thing just to get it to go in there. So I almost want to just, if I break this, fuck it. You know, I'll send it back to where I bought it from, and I'll just go buy one of these stock ones. The regular type, you know, but I don't know. This thing sucks. I got it from, I think it was partsgeek.com. the standard brand one. Yep. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I got to try to get this injector back into this port somehow, and then I guess just push this thing as hard as I can down, you know, and see if it hopefully doesn't kink a line. I can't even tell if it's kinking anything because it's got this stupid cover on it, and I don't know if it's pinched when they get, because they get super bent. Like, look at this. Just to get it down, you got to bend the hell out of it. Those two back lines are super bent. I don't even know how's fuel going to get through there if it's bent like crazy. You know, this must be a softer material because it bends super easy. Look at that, you know, it's just, I don't know. I hope when if I say screw this one and go back to that, I hope I can get that stupid plastic thing out of there, because now it damn near seems stuck. Okay, so I got this cover back over the injector spider. I mean, I basically just had to squish that goddamn thing down, you know, and then I put in a few of the bolts for this cover just hand tight, just to kind of hold it down, because if I take them out, it's just going to pop right back up. It's really stupid. And then this thing, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be, this spider thing is supposed to come up farther on here. As you can see, it's still kind of down a little ways, but it's so tight of a fit, it won't come up anymore than it has already came up. So, as you see, those bolts are supposed to be higher up. See, it's crooked still, but it's like wedged so hard that it will not move. It's almost like it wasn't even meant to go through this hole on this plastic thing, so I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab this shit with some pliers and fucking pull it up or what, I don't know. But at this point, I would not even recommend that product. I would just say, if anyone was needing to replace their fuel injector spider, just get this one again. It's going to save you a huge headache, because this thing is, I don't even know if it's going to work when I go to start it up. I mean, I don't know if those damn lines are so pinched because of how I had to squish that motherfucker down. I don't know, you know. Well, we're just going to find out when I go to start it up. Well, I got the cover, you know, it's down all the way, so the next thing is just to make sure this thing is up high enough to be able to plug in everything I got to plug to it. Okay, I'm back. So I did manage to get this thing all the way up and through this opening on the plastic cover. So what I did, I had this, and I kind of just put these two bolts on, wedged it under here, and just kind of propped it like this, and it was starting to push it up on the front side. And then for the back side, I took these pliers with a nice little grip on them, and then I grabbed right here, and both my hands, it just pulled up, and it ended up pulling up the whole thing. So now it's through there, seems to be all the way. So now we just need to plug everything back in, plug the fuel lines into here, take these little covers off, and just basically plug everything back in, and just hope that those lines aren't kinked in there, and hope that this damn thing works. If it doesn't work, screw it, I'll throw that shit in the trash, and we're gonna go get another one of these. So since we have the throttle body out, I'm getting ready to put it back in, but before I do that, I'm just gonna spray some of this sensor throttle body cleaner stuff all over it, especially down here where it's super dark, and a little bit in there, and then I'll throw it back on. It's pretty much ready to go back on. I got the fuel lines back on. I got a lot of the wires reconnected. All the bolts around this intake cover are torqued down. So next is just to put the throttle body back on right here, and then yeah, and that should be it for that part. Throttle body's back on. Just 3 bolts, 2 in the front, 1 in the back. Got all the clips back in, so it looks like we're completely done with that. So now while I have the intake and all that off, the intake tubes, I'll go ahead and do the plugs and wires now before I put everything back on, because that'll all be in the way. So we can get started with that. Alright, throttle body's back on. All that's left to do now is just put the stock intake box back on and go to start it, you know. All the sensor wires are all clipped back up, so we're good to go. So I went ahead and I'm going to start on the spark plugs on the right side of the motor. So I pulled all the 3 wires off of this side, just laid them out right there. So now I'm going to go ahead and get the first spark plug out. This is the setup I'm using. This is especially for spark plugs. It's at AutoZone. It's got a little rubber thing in there, so once it gets on the spark plug, it sticks in here and it'll stay in there. And then it's kind of like, it's got a joint in there so you can kind of move it around. And then I got this extendable ratchet, and that'll help me get some extra leverage to break the spark plug loose if it's tight. Alright, it's connected to the first spark plug. Now I'm just going to go ahead and kind of give it some torque. Get my other hand on here. Let me set this down. Well, I got it loose, but trying to record that was a fail. Alright. Alright, I just had to shorten my ratchet. Now I'll just get it the rest of the way out. I can actually take the ratchet off now. This finger, pull it out, just go like this. It's actually still kind of tight, but we'll get it. Alright, there it is. It's not that bad. It's a little dirty. It's got about, I'd say 30 to 40,000 on this plug, I believe, on these plugs. Okay, well, I got the last 2 spark plugs on that side out. Man, this thing really works nice. With that little rubber thing in there, the spark plug stays in the socket. This thing is a 5/8. I got it from AutoZone. Works pretty good. I am going to go ahead and use a little bit of anti-seize on the new plugs, just so for when I take them out the next time, come out nice and smooth. This is a different type of plug. The old ones were 41902, and then these are 41932. I think they're pretty much the same spark plug though, but if you do look in the owner's manual, it does say to use this one. So I'm glad I got those. So I'll go ahead and put a little bit of this on the thread, and I'll thread these 3 spark plugs that go on the right side of the motor on, and then we'll figure out what wires we can put back on there too. Okay, so the 3 spark plugs are in on the right side, and the 3 wires are plugged in. I haven't plugged them into the distributor cap yet. Normally, if you were replacing your wires, it'd be easier to do one at a time so you don't get confused on, what wire goes where. But see, I did all 3 of mine at the same time, so it does give you a little confusion. But to fix that, or to, figure it out. An easy way is if you look right up here at the top of the distributor cap. It's hard to see, but it says 3, 1, and 5, and that's for each cylinder. This is cylinder 3, cylinder 1, cylinder 5 in the back. And then if you just go to Google and type in 4.3 V6 firing order, it'll show you that what cylinder here is 3 and 1 and 5, and then so you just, you know, match it up to the correct one. That's what I'm doing. So just a little tip. Here's the condition of the other spark plugs. Not too bad, but definitely worn. So I got the new plugs all in on this side. New wires all hooked up. Everything looks looking good. Got the coil wire on there. Looks like we're good to go. I'm gonna go ahead and put this intake system back on, and then I think I'm gonna try to start it to make sure that fuel injector is working. Alright, we're going to go for its first test start. So, as we know, we changed the fuel injector, spider, plugs, and wires. So, I mean, I don't have much hope for that fuel injector spider. I don't know if this thing maybe needs to be primed twice, because I did take those fuel lines off and I probably created a little bit of air in the system. And okay, so I'm hoping there's enough fuel pressure in those lines. Hopefully the spider's not kinked. I know the wires and plugs are going to be just fine, but I'm just worried about that spider injector. Alright, so clutch in. Here we go. Woo! Started, baby. Okay. Feels pretty good. Feels like normal. Okay, so, well, I'm happy it runs. I'm happy it started. Feels great. I don't feel any like major misfiring or anything like that. No check engine light. So what we're going to do next, I'm not going to drive it anywhere. I'm going to turn it off here in a sec, and we'll install all 4 of the O2 sensors. The 2 for the upstream and 2 for downstream. And then once I get those on, we'll drive this thing straight to the muffler shop and have a guy weld in a new cat. I don't want to be driving it around with all these new fancy parts and then, you know, with the bad cat. So once I get the O2 sensors, we'll go get the new cat put on, and then I'll drive it for maybe 100 miles. And then we'll see if the check engine light turns off. Actually, this damn thing's not even on right now, and it usually is on. That's kind of weird. But yeah, so we'll make sure the engine light stays off after I get the cat welded in. And we'll go from there, and hopefully we can pass smog. But I'm not going to do the O2 sensors today because it's getting late. It's going to get dark soon. But it will be in this video in the next clip. So here we go. So the truck's jacked up, and we're going to look for the O2 sensors now. There's one there, one right there, and then you got one on this side of the cat right there. I already sprayed some PB Blaster on all of them. I'm just letting it soak for now, but I really thought there was 4 O2 sensors, but I can only find 3. So I'm guessing maybe the V8 version of this truck has 4 O2 sensors, and maybe the V6 has 3, because this one only has 3. So yeah, I guess I ordered one too many. Okay, I got all 3 out now. Just let it sit a little bit with the PB Blaster, and then I actually got them off with just this adjustable wrench. It's a good size one. I mean, it's not too small, but not too big. Yeah, I ended up, one of them was a pain in the butt, but just kept at it and finally got them loose. So so we got 2 upstreams and then 1 downstream. I really thought there was supposed to be 4 O2 sensors on this truck, but I only see the 3, so I'll replace them with the new ones I got. Let's go look at those.
Yellow.
So this is the part number for this is the upstreams, I believe. I bought 2 of them, so it's a good thing because we got 2 upstreams on the truck. And then I also bought 2 downstreams, but I guess I just needed 1. So there it is. These are also from partsgeek.com. And then we also got the catalytic converter in the mail today. California compliant. Yeah, so here it is. I just have to take it down to be welded on. So we'll get the new oxygen sensors on the truck, and then we'll take the truck over to get this welded on, and then we'll see if she passes smog. Well, after it does its recycle of the, the computer and all that does its thing, then we'll take it to get it smogged. Cool thing about these new sensors is they already have anti-seize already on the threads. So I'm going to go ahead and thread this upstream sensor in. Ugh. Okay. Ow. Alright, so it's going to go in there. Okay, so I'll just go back and grab my adjustable wrench and I'll give it a nice torque it down a little bit, and then we can go ahead and plug this into its little socket, and then we'll do the next one. Well, cool, I got all 3 O2 sensors on now. There's one there, and the other one is right up there somewhere. See that or not? Yep. Alright, so it is the next day. I just got back from the muffler shop. I had them weld on the cat that I had ordered in the mail. That was a pretty smooth process. I went down over there. It was in Fairfield, California. And they're called Bay Area Muffler. They do pretty good work. Their shop's really cool too. When you go inside, they got all these these figures that they made out of old mufflers and stuff and exhaust piping, and the owner welded it all up, and they look like Transformers or something. They look like something crazy, but and they also had artwork all over the walls. One of the owners, the owner does artwork, and I think he sells it too. But yeah, he does pretty good work, and he welded it in real fast, and he also took a picture of my truck out front. This is it. So yeah, now I'm back home, and I'm going to, I guess, drive the truck for a few days, maybe put about 100 miles on it of normal driving, and we're going to see what codes clear. Hopefully all of them, all 3 codes. I'm really hoping that the P0300 code clears the multiple misfire, because that's the most challenging one. So yeah, let's see. I'll get back with you guys in about a week, and we'll see what happened. Alright, so it's been about a week of driving. 2 of the codes cleared. The P0303 misfire in cylinder 3 code cleared, and the O2 sensor code cleared, so we don't have to worry about those anymore. Now it's just the P0300, that stupid code that won't go away. So it sucks because now I can't smog it, which that's one of my whole goal is to get it smogged and registered again. Next, I think I'm just going to replace the whole distributor. I'm not sure. I had that done once at a shop. I had the guy change it all out, but I don't know if he actually really did it. Maybe he just charged me and never did it. I'm thinking the little teeth on the spline way at the bottom of the distributor are maybe worn out and is throwing everything off. I don't know. So we're going to pull the old one out, probably tomorrow, and then inspect it, and if it looks worn out, we'll just buy a whole new distributor, and that'll be the next thing we try to get rid of this crazy, ridiculous P0300 code that won't go away. Basketball? So that's the end of this video. The next one will be just changing out the distributor, so we'll go from there. All right.